This is WCIA 3 News at 6.
Everybody in America froze because they couldn't believe the hatred that it took someone to do what happened to that young man.
Protests are happening all over the country in response to George Floyd's death in Minneapolis. Good evening, I'm Jen Lask. That includes people speaking out in Champaign County. Minneapolis officer Derek Chauvin now faces a third-degree murder charge and second-degree manslaughter charge after pressing his knee into Floyd's neck for several minutes, even after he stopped moving or speaking. Now, community members here walked around this afternoon holding signs to get their message across, many of them reading "Justice for George Floyd." Dozens of cars and people also on bikes rode around, following each other across the Champaign-Urbana area. They chanted, they honked horns, and raised their fists in solidarity.
We saw the whole thing, and we felt like we knew that man. However, we had never met him. But we knew, and we could identify with what he was going through. His pain, it was deep.
Minnie Pearson with the NAACP says people have protested for hundreds of years to get their voices heard, and now is the time to do it again. Meanwhile, the mayor of Champaign says she took part in today's protests in order to show a united front.
I think allyship is important, and I think it's important to speak out against injustice, but also making sure that our African American citizens and friends and colleagues, that they know that they are not standing alone.
Another protest is set to take place at the courthouse in Urbana on Monday. More than 100 people on the Facebook event have already said they plan to go. Meanwhile, more than 100 people were arrested last night after a protest in Chicago. Police Superintendent David Brown says the protest started peacefully but ended aggressively. A dozen squad cars throughout the city were damaged, and Brown says an officer suffered a broken wrist as well. At one point, protesters walked down Michigan Avenue into oncoming traffic, but they were stopped by police as they tried to get onto the freeway. Meanwhile, people in Peoria are also protesting over the death of Floyd. A march began this afternoon at the riverfront. Protesters then marched over to the courthouse, and organizers say they were marching for every victim of police brutality. A Springfield police officer has been reassigned after posting on Facebook and calling City Alderman Sean Gregory a, quote, expletive idiot. Springfield Chief of Police Kenny Winslow said that the officer who made the post has been reassigned pending an internal investigation. The post came after Alderman Gregory said the Springfield police were unfairly targeting the city's predominantly black east side when breaking up gatherings while allowing large groups of predominantly white protesters to gather at the Capitol without social distancing and march through downtown. Several aldermen, including Alderman Doris Turner, agreed with Gregory at Tuesday's City Council meeting. The officer also mentioned Alderwoman Turner in the comments of his post. Springfield police have not issued any citations for violating the governor's stay-at-home order. Springfield Mayor Jim Langfelder said this in a statement, quote, comments were made about Alderman Gregory and Alderwoman Turner are not acceptable nor condoned, and I know from personal experience how detrimental it can be to one's family. We should respect each other and work together through our differences to become a stronger community for all of us. A Champaign High School graduate has died in a boating accident in Wisconsin. It happened in Lincoln County on Lake Alice. Officials there say they received a call around 1:30 this morning of a missing boater from a capsized canoe. They found 18-year-old Drew Adams around 8:30, and he was pronounced dead at the scene. Central High School Principal Joe Williams said the school will be offering virtual resources for students and staff affected by his death. Adams was set to attend Parkland College. Police are investigating a crash in Champaign that happened around 4 o'clock near 4th and Washington. Police say a car hit a pedestrian. We are now working to learn more about what led up to that, but we do know at this time police say the victim's injuries are non-life threatening. We will bring you the latest updates when we learn them. We now have new COVID-19 numbers from the Illinois Department of Public Health. Officials say more than 1,400 new cases have been confirmed. This includes 61 additional deaths. That brings the state's total to nearly 119,000 cases, including 5,330 deaths. Health community centers are stuck in a difficult place when dealing with COVID-19. The virus has led to a decrease in foot traffic and is causing a big drop in revenue needed to keep those centers running. These centers treat anybody, no matter if they have insurance or not. Care from community health centers has shifted to primarily telehealth visits, and they also help administer COVID-19 tests.
About 130 sites across the state that in total so far have tested well over 150,000 people, and they continue to test thousands of people every day, and we will continue to do so for as long as the need is there.
And while they have been losing revenue, they are getting aid from both the state and federal government in the latest budgets. Well, signs of phase 3 in reopening Illinois were all around us yesterday, from the shops to the restaurants. But behind the scenes, non-essential manufacturers are also being allowed to return to work now. WCIA 3's Cole Henke has more.
While some factories and manufacturers were able to pivot to making PPE, others were forced to shut down. But now that the state is in phase 3, they will be able to reopen.
It's critically important that we get the entire manufacturing might involved so we can get our economy moving forward.
The Illinois Manufacturers Association wanted these manufacturers to be opened earlier. President Mark Denzler said that since factories don't have the public coming in like restaurants or retail stores, it's easier to protect the employees.
They've been doing it now for weeks and months in terms of taking temperatures and self-assessments and spacing and sanitation. But I truly believe that manufacturers could have opened earlier.
The factory's reopening could also signal another chunk of the state's workforce returning to their jobs. The state's unemployment numbers are still rising, with nearly 60,000 people filing for unemployment last week alone.
You know, before the pandemic hit, the largest issue facing manufacturers were trying to find a qualified workforce. Creating a pipeline. There were more open jobs in manufacturing than job seekers in the United States, and that certainly is flipped on its head in the last couple months.
Reporting in Springfield, I'm Cole Henke, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
And manufacturers are still required to follow social distancing guidelines, which means rearranging workspaces to be 6 feet apart. They also have to require face masks and provide hand sanitizing stations. New at 6, Urbana's city clerk announces he's resigning effective at the end of today. Charles Smith says ongoing health issues led to the decision. In a statement, Smith, who also served as an alderman, says, quote, "It's been an honor and a privilege to serve the residents of Urbana and to work with city staff for over 24 years. Mayor Diane Wolf Marlin says, quote, "Charlie Smith brought passion, integrity, and a commitment to his excellence in his public and volunteer service. I'll always be grateful for his role as a mentor and leader on the Urbana City Council." Also new this evening, the Decatur Police Department is announcing the results of its Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over campaign. The enforcement period ran from May 8th through the end of the Memorial Day weekend. Police made 11 DUI arrests there, wrote 12 tickets for not wearing a seatbelt, 14 tickets for speeding, and handled 30 cases of suspended or revoked licenses. The Drive Sober campaign is run by IDOT in partnership with local authorities and federal highway safety funding. Also coming up tonight, a milestone for one Champaign woman. We'll give you a look at her 100th birthday celebration and her secret to a long and healthy life.
And outside here today, it's been a very nice day. Lots of sunshine and highs that only made it up into the 70s. Feeling very comfortable and even cool this morning. We started out at 49. All right, coming back. We'll talk about how it's going to be another cool night. How tomorrow looks to be just as nice, but we are watching for some storms for next week. We'll show you when to expect those coming up.
WCIA 3 News is sponsored by Best Western Plus in amazing Arcola.
I'm Troy Lands. You can count on my company because you can count on me.
Your home is a big investment. If something goes wrong, you want the best to repair it. That's why Lands is bringing a brand new service to the area. Pipelining, a no trench, no dig, no mess repair system for your underground pipes. This innovative technology can usually repair in a day what may have taken a week or more. When the worst happens, you can always count on Troy Lands and his company. For more information on new service, go to landsinc.com.
I fought hard to get the name back because my dad worked very hard to make that name as strong as it is. I grew up with that. I've seen that and seen how great it was. And I've also seen how quickly that can go away if it's not treated properly. CarStar helps me to compete with the larger shops, but yet retain 100% ownership of the shop. It's just still the same great people work here. There's still the same technicians. Things are looking good here at Tapman's.
Holy mother of thin. Look what we did. We made it thin. How is this possible, you ask? It's not, but we done it anyway. Reese's Thins. Not sorry.
With so many nourishing shades, a color change is easy. Nutrice has 77. From our darkest blacks to our lightest blondes. It nourishes while it colors, plus avocado, olive, and shea. Change a little or a lot. Nutrice, nourished hair, better color. By Garnier, naturally.
We are your surface preparation and cleaning specialists. At Oakwood Restoration, our services include expert rust removal, automotive stripping, and all surface preparation. We use a dustless blasting system that can be used on any surface. Cars, bricks, houses, Oakwood Restoration. You name it, we can remove it.
Reporting the news is a passion of mine. It's a passion for people and telling the stories that impact their lives. I'm committed to our community and proud to be part of the legacy at WCIA 3. Trust us to bring you your most reliable information. WCIA 3, your local news leader.
This portion of WCIA 3 News is sponsored by Tapman's Collision. Now, Central Illinois' most accurate forecast with meteorologist Kevin Lighty.
On this Saturday evening, a very nice weather across the region, and we're going to carry this again into the day tomorrow. It's just been great. Yesterday was nice. Today, staying pleasant. We're in the mid-70s right now. Low humidity levels, and hey, maybe you're going to head up the drive-in up in Gibson City there. I believe they're playing Shrek tonight. 8:40 p.m. and you can go to the drive-in, and that's the kind of drive-in weather you want if you're going to head out there. And it looks really good again for tonight, and they had it last night, and the nice weather is going to be sticking around, it looks like, here over the next couple of days, where you can take advantage of things across the region with no major weather issues coming our way here over the next few days. But it is about to get a little bit more stormy for next week. We're saying open the windows tonight. How about 51 degrees for your low temperature? But that's very comfortable. You can give the AC a little bit of a break, and things look good for your Sunday in Clinton with a high around 71. Pleasant in Georgetown. We'll have those nice clear blue skies again with those lower 70s up into the Sheldon area as well as we look to another beautiful day. Maybe a day to grab some ice cream. And the reason for that, you won't have to worry about it melting a whole lot at 72. A couple of drips, you're looking good, but it's not going to be long before we're up here in this category. So tomorrow, definitely looking to be a nice day all around. And as I mentioned, look what happens in just a couple of days. We're back up into the upper 80s and nearing 90 by Wednesday. Okay, so a huge shift in the temperatures. So we've got tomorrow, we've got Monday, and then it's back to the summertime heat and back to the summertime thunderstorms. While we're dry tomorrow, Monday, and Tuesday, Wednesday gets stormy across the area, and we're going to be watching for those thunderstorms. We'll have to keep a close eye on the possibility of severe weather, but that is our next chance of decent rainfall. Otherwise, I would take advantage of these next couple of nights. 51, clear and cool. Tomorrow's high of just 72 degrees, and your 7-day forecast, as I mentioned, it's like we flip the switch. We go from these nice, cool spring nights and days to hot and humid summer days and nights. Beautiful weather out there tonight, though.
I mean, between the ice cream and playing Shrek, one of my favorite movies when I was younger, I kind of really want to take a very long dinner break tonight.
Yeah, you got a little time.
You got this, right?
Yeah, I'll hold it down. I can just see here. I can read the news.
All right,
Coming up, the IHSA is trying to get more sports officials to return next year. I'll let you take over.
All right, I guess I'm staying here. The program they'll be offering this summer to prevent even more from quitting. That's ahead.
Monday at 4 on CI Living, we've got quick tips for a safe, smooth move from 2 men and a truck. Plus, gyms across the state are slowly but surely opening back up. We'll check on the progress with Illini CrossFit Monday at 4.
I would recommend Beltone hearing aids to any of my family or friends. The Bluetooth app on them works great. I can hear them in my tractor. I can hear them in my combine. And it's just, the clarity is just very good.
Beltone, helping the world hear better.
Options. No matter what you're looking for, it's always good to have them. And when it comes to your internet, Xfinity gives you the ones you need. On a budget, there's a speed for that. Not ready to commit? Try a plan with no annual contract. Want to save even more? Just add Xfinity Mobile and save big on your wireless bill. It's internet with the power of options. And that's simple, easy, awesome. Save up to $400 a year on your wireless bill when you get Xfinity Internet and Mobile together. Plus, get $200 off a new Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra. Call or click today.
You know, we've been inside for a while. Now it's time to go outside and play. And let's make it Monticello. Perfect for shopping, dining, and playing. Go to makeitmonticello.com to plan your next visit today.
Is your AC system ready for warm weather? Did it limp through last year with persistent coolant leaks or poor performance? It's tune-up time at Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Right now, when you take advantage of their exclusive 33-point tune-up, you also get a refrigerant leak checkup at no extra charge. That's right. When you invest in a quality 33-point tune-up for a limited time only, you get the refrigerant leak check valued at well over $100 at no extra charge. Matex. Feel the difference. Trusted for over 25 years.
Bad sleep?
The worst.
There's really no excuse for bad sleep during the extended Memorial Day sale at Denver Mattress. Right now, the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. And save 25% on our original Doctor's Choice lineup. Or check out the Summit Queen, only $189.99. Save up to $500 on select Tempur-Pedic mattress sets. And get a $300 Furniture Row gift certificate. Plus 5 years, no interest. Hurry! The extended Memorial Day sale at Denver Mattress ends Thursday.
National forests are essential to life. They clean our air, supply drinking water to millions of Americans, and provide homes to countless wildlife. But fires and natural disasters destroy millions of trees each year. That's why we're replanting our forests from coast to coast. Visit arborday.org. See how you can help.
Live from your local news leader, Jen Lask, Central Illinois' most accurate forecast, with meteorologist Amelia Henderson and Marley Weirda on sports. You're watching WCIA 3 News at 6.
Looking for a bright spot to your day? Well, we've got you covered. A Champaign woman is celebrating a major milestone. Elizabeth Sieber Murphy turned 100 today, and loved ones gathered together for an open house. WCIA asked her what her secret was to staying healthy, and she had quite a matter-of-fact response for us.
Not dying.
Well, if you missed that there, she just said, not dying. Murphy is the first woman to graduate from the University of Illinois Business School. She earned a degree in commerce there. And, of course, we want to see your pictures and videos, so email them to us, send them to us on Facebook. We want to know about all the bright spots happening. But, Marley, I really like that. I mean, it's a long life with a very brief answer to why.
Yeah, not dying. That's it. That's the secret that she has. And I know, well, Jen, we have a lot of referees and officials just in the area. They're kind of some of the most scrutinized individuals when it comes to sports. Think about it. They're always getting yelled at by fans, coaches, but they are a big part of the game. And what will we do without them? It's becoming more difficult to find them. We'll have that story coming up.
WCIA 3 News is sponsored by Eastern Illinois University.
Monday on CI Living, how do you move safely these days? All it takes is 2 men and a truck. And we're in the virtual CI kitchen with Harvest Market. Set your DVR for 4.
Do you have a financial game plan? Let the family wealth coaches at Boyer and Sappenfield help you with your wealth strategies. Big city service with a small town touch. Specialists in retirement and long-term growth and preservation. Trust Boyer and Sappenfield with your financial goals.
Thousands of memories will be placed on your kitchen table. So choose one that will hold those memories longer. When you buy right, it stays right. Year after year, into the next generation. Wright's Furniture and Flooring, making you right at home.
Summer's officially here, and Blaine's Farm and Fleet has great deals on all your summer essentials. Like Scott's Turf Builder Weed Feed, only $45.99. Scott's Naturescapes Red or Brown Mulch, 3 for $10. Assorted small bags of Miracle Grow potting mixes are just $9.99. And Rewards members get a free $5 gift card when you spend $30 on Miracle Grow products. Plus, buy online and pick up your items in our convenient drive-thru.
I don't know how we would have survived without Mediacom. We have 5 kids, and we have Mediacom for all of our internet and all of our cable services. So I'm stuck in my house, but at the same time, I'm connected to people all over the world. It's been fantastic.
Right now, we all feel like the world is in a standstill. The internet has played a huge role in allowing us to stay connected to our jobs and stay connected with the ones that we love. We couldn't do it without Mediacom.
Here's some great news. One stop for all car and truck repairs, plus a great tire selection. Tires Plus is tires plus routine auto maintenance, plus electrical work, plus brake service, plus air conditioning repairs, plus check engine light diagnosis, plus tire rotation. The Plus is in everything they do, and they'll match any locally advertised prices. There's so much plus, we ran out of time to tell you about the great selection of tires. Tires Plus and all Tires Plus Auto Care. They fix everything.
Do you have a financial game plan? Let the family wealth coaches at Boyer and Sappenfield help you with your wealth strategies. Big city service with a small town touch. Specialists in retirement and long-term growth and preservation. Trust Boyer and Sappenfield with your financial goals.
And now, WCIA 3 Sports with Marley Weirdo.
The IHSA has canceled the 2020 Officials Conference due to COVID-19. The annual event, held in July, usually provides workshops and networking opportunities for hundreds of high school officials in Illinois. That will all be done virtually now, but the pandemic isn't the only problem affecting officials in Illinois. Craig Schote has the story.
No one knows when high school sports will return, but when they do, the same problem will remain. Every year, more and more officials are hanging up their whistles, and their replacements are nowhere to be found.
It used to be when I started, you know, it took you about 7 or 8 years to get your first varsity game, and now there's guys getting varsity games in their second year.
Keith Johnson just completed his 45th year officiating. He's seen it all, but he's worried that if things don't change, more games are on the chopping block.
The dire need is really at the lower levels, the junior high and the freshman games. Those are the games that have been canceled for lack of officials.
A survey conducted by the National Association of Sports Officials shows that 80% of officials quit after their second year. A lot factors into that, but Johnson thinks it boils down to 2 things.
We went through a period where coaches were very demonstrative, drove officials out then. I think coaches are much, much better today. I mean, there's still the occasional one that'll ride you up one side and down the other, but now it's the fans.
At Monticello, they're trying to ease the relationship.
I hope if anything, when we come back as a nation, as we come back as a state, as we come back as a community at Monticello, we can appreciate the game and enjoy watching our kids compete. And, sit back and say, look, let's just enjoy watching our kids and let the officials do their job, let our coaches do their job, and not take it for granted.
All of this is part of the reason the NFHS is currently offering their officiating courses for free through July 1st. The IHSA is helping spread the word.
I think the IHSA recognizes that they have a problem. So, yes, I think this is an attempt to help solve or alleviate that situation.
Johnson estimates the cost to wear the stripes right now is about $150. Officiate 2 games and you can make that back, or use the money for something else, like Johnson did.
That's how I got started. It was beer and pizza money when I went to college. And little did I know it would evolve into this.
Now he's just hoping someone will follow his lead and replace him when he decides to call it quits. Reporting in Champaign, Craig Schote, WCIA 3 Sports.
I love that. Beer and pizza money for reffing a couple of high school games. But I think a lot of people don't realize how difficult sometimes it is to be in that kind of spotlight and receive some scrutiny. So maybe people will think twice now if they see a ref make a bad call.
Yeah, I mean, that's well-earned, beer and pizza money, definitely.
Absolutely, Jen.
All right, thank you so much, Marlene. We're going to have one final look at the forecast after this.
The Bright Spot on WCIA is sponsored by the McDonald Group Real Estate.
Hi, friends. Van for heel to toe in downtown Urbana. Finally, we're open. It's been some tough times, but we're ready to go. The shelves are loaded. Man, we've really missed you. As you know, it is really important now more than ever to support your local businesses. Heel to toe, 106 West Main, downtown Urbana. Bring in your feet, we'll get you fit.
When you want to work in your garden or just be outside, check in with WCIA3's weather team for their 7-day forecast. Sponsored by Edelman. When you need to know what the weather will be today, tomorrow, or this week, you can count on Chief Meteorologist Kevin Lighty, Adam Claybon, Jack Gerfen, and Amelia Henderson to give you the most accurate forecast. They'll help you plan your week with a 7-day forecast from WCIA3, your local weather leader. Sponsored by Edelman Electric Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling.
There may be a lot of reasons you need to call a roofing company, but you don't always need a new roof. Hi, I'm Cord Schroeder, owner of Bash Pepper Roofing. Our specialty is maximizing your roofing investment. Whether it's a leak that needs fixed to get a few more years out of your current roof, or it's time for a new one, we'll give you an honest opinion on the best options. As a locally owned business, we've proudly served East Central Illinois for the past 100 years. Bash Pepper Roofing, large or small, we cover them all.
In these difficult times, Operation Honor Guard wants our businesses and our citizens to come back stronger than ever. With that being said, we have made the tough decision to delay our day of giving until May 2021. We just can't bring ourselves to ask for donations when so many are trying to rebuild financially. We will be back, and we will raise even more money for those veterans and organizations who honor our fallen heroes. May God bless us all, and we'll see you in a year.
The Bright Spot on WCIA is sponsored by the McDonald Group Real Estate.
All right, sunshine here tomorrow, looking to be a really nice day, but then we're going to have the heat and humidity return as we head towards next week, as things are going to be really warming up with those thunderstorms throughout the region. So we'll definitely be keeping a close eye on that.
And another thing we're going to be keeping a close eye on, protests all around the country, including right here in Chicago. We are taking a live look at this. Protesters marching through downtown Chicago, again, in response to police brutality. Protesters have walked onto Lakeshore Drive. They've blocked traffic in both directions. Before that, they also, police say that they took aim at 2 squad cars in front of Trump Tower. Right now, Lakeshore Drive, again, closed in both directions. Police are telling people to avoid going into the loop there. We are going to have the latest updates on these protests all across the country coming up at 9 and 10 o'clock tonight, including protests right here in Champaign County. So again, stay with us. This is a developing situation we are continuing to follow. Thank you for watching.